Okay, welcome fans. We had some technical difficulties, so just to catch you up, Chaska Chan has struck first and second. They are up 2-0 with 10:36 left in the first period. There appears to be a penalty of some sort, not sure on who. And yet we have I'm trying to catch up here. Chaska Chan has yet scored again, and it is now 3-0. So we'll find our footing here. As there's only been 5 shots on goal, and Chaska has found the back of the net 3 times. So both teams are 5-on-5. Not sure why there's a penalty up on the board, but here we go. We got Nolan, Kurvita, and Ferrara backed up by Darlene and Mizzle. Puck comes away. Chaska Chan working through the neutral zone. Stopped by Kurvita. Kurvita rolling on the right side. Working his way across. Long high shot. Deflected away by the Chaska Chan tender. Nolan working his way on the wall. Throwing it down to Kurvita. High stick waved off. Puck behind the net. Ferrara behind. Wheeling. Trying to center. Kurvita out front. Could not connect with Nolan. Nolan sends it back to Mizzle. Mizzle from the line. Fires. There's a tip. Out front. Fire. Batting away. Yes. No. Somehow saved underneath the Chaska tender. So, yeah, this is a surprise with 9:56 left. Chaska up by 3 goals. 3-0 on just 5 shots. So Edina clearly has some work to do. As Chaska got a penalty, now they are shorthanded. I'm trying to figure this out as well. Darlene from the point, fires. Puck rolls into the corner of Kurvita now around the circle, looking back to Darlene. Darlene walking across the line. Sends it down to Nolan on the wall. Nolan looking, sends it down to Ferrara. Ferrara back to Nolan. Nolan wheeling, dealing, back to Mizzle. Mizzle walks in, fires. There's the shot, there's the tip, nothing. Darlene from the boards, surveys, looks across the circle. Wheels his way back to Mizzle. Mizzle fires. Low shot. Nothing. Another shot. Nolan. Another shot. And Chaska comes away for the breakout. A long saucer pass. And this is going to go all the way down. Icing is finally called. With 9:13 left and 1:17 left in the Hornet power play. So, Kurvita and Nolan are back out with Ferrara. Backed up by Potter and Potts. Puck comes away, sneaks out of the zone. Potts picks it up at the red line, but it's intercepted and thrown down into the zone where Nolan gives chase. Nolan ringing around the boards of Ferrara. Ferrara sends it on a one-timer, but it's interflected, but Nolan still gets it as he walks across the line. He's pinched up against the boards, and Kurvita controls and throws it back to Potts. Sneaks by Potts. Potts knocked down. Chaska racing for it, but Potter is there to push it away. Weak shot on net. Quickie leads it. Now we're going to get something. An interference call on the Hornets. And this game is descending into chaos. As the Hornets try to find their footing in these early stages with 8:40 to play. So we're going to get coincidental minors here. Both Potter and Chaska going off. So it's going to be 4-on-4 hockey. So Wilkins set to take the draw with Bergmeyer and Ewers and Helmer. So Wilkins out of the circle, Bergmeyer in. We got some funky lines going on here. Still trying to work it out. No, it's coincidental minor. It's coincidental minor. It's 4-4. I don't know. So Ivany on the draw with Hester and Dorsey. Darlene around the net, looking for an outlet pass, gets it up to Dorsey. Dorsey one-times it to Ivany. Ivany working his way through the neutral zone, shovels it down into the Chaska zone and gives chase. Behind the net, Ivany pinched up on the boards, throws it around a little bit too far. Puck now sneaks out, held by Helmer. Dorsey on his backside, wheels around the circle. Looking. All the way around the backside, over to Hester. Hester now wheels, deals, surveys. Looking for an outlet, he can't find one. Back to Darlene at the point, firing shot, there's a tip. Up to Dorsey. Dorsey spun around, gets some help. Now it's down to Helmer. Helmer wheels, deals, sends it down to Helmer. Or Darlene to Dorsey. Dorsey looking for an outlet. Around the circle, looking, drops it to Darlene. Darlene all the way across, one-timer! Nice Ovechkin style to Helmer. But nothing doing at 7:42 in the first. Hornets actually out shooting, if we can believe this. Bergmeyer on the draw. Tied up on the dot. Comes away. Bergmeyer pushing his man. Ewers behind the net. Looking. Sends it back to Potts. Potts rolling in on the point. There's a shot. There's a tip. Nothing. Bergman out from the corner. Looking. Surveying. Around the circle. Down low to Ewers. Ewers pinched up against the boards as the Hawks contain this assault. Ewers now trying to get it out front. He's tied up. Now Bergmeyer on the wall. Bergmeyer loses the handle. Gets it back to Wilkins. Wilkins stops short on the circle. Wheels it down. Intercepted by I think they're the Predators. I'm not sure. As Mizzle does a good job containing in the neutral zone. Here comes Mizzle, wheeling on the right side, dishes it across to Ewers. He can't get it on his backside, and this sneaks down into the Hornet zone. Potts collecting, looking up ice, gets it to Berge. Berge, rink-wide pass, picked up by Kurvita through the red line. He leaves it for Mizzle. Mizzle now scraping his way down the wall. Mizzle trying to shovel it around, still getting his stick tied up as he works it. Ferrara in to help out, and the Chaska throws it around to the far side. Potts tries to save the zone. He does. Working it, running the line. Ferrara overskates. Held in tight by three Chaska players as they wheel it around the backside. Nolan behind the net, disrupting play. Now Chaska looking for a breakout as they slide it around the near side boards. Hornets go for a partial line change. Intercepted there at the red line. Darlene now throws it down into the Chaska zone. Nolan first in the corner to meet his man. Banging that puck up the wall, trying to chisel it through. Now it's tied up. Kurvita in to help out. And Chaska comes away. 3-on-2 odd man rush situation. Breaking down the right side. Trying to held up. Nicely done there by Helmer. Flipped a stick into the air. Here comes Kurvita. 3-on-2 back the other way. Darlene now works his way into the slot. Looking, firing. No, yes. Over the net. Held by Hester in the zone. Nice job. Pinned off the puck and Kurvita comes in. Kurvita tries to center it across the slot. Picked off by Chaska, and they throw it down where Helmer gives chase. Helmer up on the wall. Intercepted there by Chaska as they try to center. Controlling from the corner. Hornets can't seem to get possession as now Chaska wheels around on the dot. Helmer slides it, but it's contained in the zone. And Helmer will try again from behind the net. Long sliding pass, and this is going to go down for an icing. So with 5:02 to play, as mentioned before, Hornets dug themselves a huge hole. The first goal came with literally 10 seconds into the game. Ivany on. He's got Dorsey. He's got Hester. Back to the point. Chaska fires. Low shot. Tipped away by Quick. Chaska controlling behind the net. From the corner. Looking. Disrupted. Dorsey trying to hold at the point. Tries to chip it through. He does. Dorsey now racing. He's got Hester. Rolling in. 2-on-1 situation. A firing low shot. Legged away by the Chaska tender, but held in the zone. Working it. Ivany tries to swipe at it. Here comes Chaska now. They overscape, but they still gain the line. Right on the line. Now it's Hester's turn. Rolling on the right side. Walking in. He's got Dorsey. Decides to think the better of it. Stops short and throws it behind the net. From the corner. Mizzle Back to Dorsey. Dorsey tried to center out front, sticked away. Potts pinches up. He's mowed over by a Chaska player, and Chaska swings it back the other way for a breakout. Chaska looking on ice off the backhand side, and this will go for an icing with 4:06 to play. We should also mention we lost JJ. Apparently he has a broken collarbone, so he will be out. We wish him speedy recovery because we need him back. Bergmeyer on the draw into the corner. He turns, he burns, he looks from the circle, from the dot, firing! Low shot saved by the Chaska tender. Well done on the Chaska side. Ewers from the circle, wheeling around into the slot. Back to Helmer. Helmer walks in, fires. Wide to the right. Chaska now pinned down in their zone as they look across, rink wide to a non-connecting pass. Helmer checks up in the neutral zone, slides it back to Dahlin. Dahlin looking at his options. Saucer pass to Ewers, one-time connection, doesn't connect anywhere else but the Chaska D. Held in the neutral zone as they go D to D. One-time pass by them fails. Now a nice little chip up by Dahlin, who holds it in the zone. Nicely done, Dahlin. Ewers all the way across to Ferrara. Ferrara trying to work it in. He gets stopped short on the line, and here comes Chaska. Bit too far, and Dahlin holds him to the outside. Shot goes wider than a mile as Chaska is peppering the Hornets. Here comes Helmer. He throws it one time just on the backside of Kurvita, and Kurvita and Nolan give chase into the zone. Naked pass into the slot, intercepted by Helmer. Helmer trying to walk in, trying to gain his footing, working his way back. Nolan tries to step up. He does. Nicely done on the circle. Wheels, deals, looks, sends it down to Helmer. All the way down to Ferrara now behind the net. Ferrara, nice out front. Nobody home, but here's Mizzle. Mizzle, can you connect? Bring the thunder, Mizzle. Yes! From the side. Off the clanker. Oh, and the net was dislodged from its moorings. Hornets buzzing with 2:29 in the first. So we'll do it again with Nolan, Kurvita, and Ferrara backed up by Mizzelt and Potter. Nolan on the draw, gets it back to Potter. Potter throws it, intercepted, and here come the Predators on a 3-on-2 situation, rolling in. Spinning around the circle, trying to set something up. Now driving in towards the net, short side shot, saved by Quick. A pass just too far for Ferrara, and now it's back and forth in the neutral zone. Nolan now sending it down to Mizzle. Mizzle chips it back up. It's a nice little check pass there to Ferrara as Ferrara gains on the left side. Into Kurvita in the slot, firing! Low shot, saved by the tender. Catch down the breakout, pinched up by Potter, well done. Ferrara centers it, chipped away at the last second as they roll around the back of the net looking for a breakout. All the way up on the left side. This guy's going to do it himself. As he gains, he rolls in on the circle. Out front, no connection. A one-timer cranker. Just didn't quite connect. As they roll up and throw it out of the zone, and Chaska checks up their men on sides and go for a line change. As Potter retrieves behind the net. Potter, long stretch pass up to Dorsey. Dorsey does a nice little toe drag twice. Another toe drag, 3 toe drags. Here comes Ivany from the red line, gaining on the right side, beating his man, rubbed out a bit as he deals with 3 Chaska people. Now sent behind the net. There's a little wraparound. It's up and over. How did that not go in? I don't know. Dorsey swipes at it and throws it out front, and it's covered up with less than a minute to play. So Ivany and Hester and Dorsey will reset with Potter and Potts. Chaska controls, rings it around the far side, held by Potts in the zone. Down to Hester. Hester throws it down behind the net to Ivany. Ivany overskates, but he dumps his man. Nice. Now Dorsey battling the puck, trying to get it out front. Dorsey now from the circle. Wheels around, throws it down to Hester. Hester sends it back to Potts at the point. Looks down to Dorsey. or Hester. Hester now rolls back to Potts again. Potts fires. There's the tip. No tip. Yes. Oh, Bergmeyer. Boogie. Nothing. Here comes Chaska on the reverse. Rolling down. Hard to control. Trying to step up. Nicely done by the D as they try to pepper it away. Steered away by Quick. Bergmeyer up on the wall. Now, Bergie sends it rink wide. Just a bit too far, and the Hornets go for a line change. Bergmeyer in, watching his man. Wilkins goes for the chase. Sent to the far side corners, and now they roll up the line. And that'll do it. Apologies as mentioned. We basically missed 2.5 goals to start this contest, and the Hornets have some work to do. All right, fresh 15 on the clock as we start the second frame with Nolan, Ferrara, and Kurvita, backed up by Helmer and Mizzle. Puck slides back, goes D to Helmer. Helmer slides it up to Kurvita. Kurvita now throws it into the Chaska zone, and Nolan gives chase. Puck is deflected away, but Kurvita holds down low. Chaska throws it around the net as they start their breakout. Long rink-wide pass deflected smartly by Helmer into the scorer's table. So we'll do it again. Score 3-0. Hornets got work to do. Nolan from the dot, tied up on the line. Kurvita now sends it down into the Chaska zone. They go rink wide, trying to break out. Broken up there by Mizzles as he surveys. Chips it up the wall, intercepted in the neutral zone as they go D to D. As Chaska now stolen by Ferrara. He's offsides though. So close, yet so far away. As Bergmeyer, Wilkins, and Ewers roll in. Backed up by Potts and Potter. Berg on the drop, sends it back to Potts. Potts cranks it into the zone, and the Hornets give chase. From the D, Chaska tries to throw it up. Potter holds the zone, brings it around to the far side where Wilkins gives chase. Stops Chaska just in time before they're going to try to force it out. Chaska from their knees, trying to play the puck. Ferocious forecheck as Charlie works it down low. And we got a slashing call on Chaska. And just like that, the Hornets will be on a man advantage. So face off to the left of Chaska. Bergie on the drop, tied up on the dot. Ewers now wheels around the circle down low. Throws it around just a bit too far for Bergmeyer. Wilkins chasing now from the circle. Looking. Down low to Bergmeyer. Overskated again. Charlie from behind the net. Looking. Back to Potter at the point. Potter looks, fires! Oh, shot waffled away. Bergmeyer from the corner. No, it's Ewers. Ewers sends it rink wide over to the point to Potter. Potter again fires. And trapped away by the Chaska tender. So we will do it again with a fresh set of horses. Ivany, Hester, and Dorsey backed up by Helmer and Mizzle. Ivany in the draw, tied up on the dot. Ivany comes away, throws it back to Mizzle at the point. Wheeling across, down to Ivany. Ivany from the circle. Fires! Another shot, another save. Chaska getting tossed, a new guy comes in. Ivany on the drop. Sends it over to Hester, who wheels around, working off those boards in the corner, looking to set something up. To Ivany. Ivany back to the point to Mizzle. Mizzle rolls in, back to Ivany. Ivany from the circle, looking. Back to Mizzle. Mizzle from the high slot, fires. There's the rebound. Fire it, get it, nothing. Back to Helmer. Chaska definitely holding in the slot there as Helmer steps up, stops it in the neutral zone. As Mizzle now chips it across to Ivany. Ivany rolling through the red line, hassled by two Chaska guys. He stops short, looks across from the circle, wheels in, all the way around, back to Mizzle. Mizzle at the point, rolls across, down to Ivany. Ivany brings it in, fires! Short side shot, turned away by the Chaska tender. So we'll try it again with Nolan, Ferrara, and Kervita. Nolan on the drop. Puck skitters behind the net. Chaska trying to desperately throw it out as they slap it up the boards. Ferrara holds, or Helmer holds, and he pinches. Comes back to Helmer. Helmer from the point, wheels around, looks. Down low to Kervita. Kervita back to Helmer. Helmer looks across, all the way to Mizzle. Mizzle now, he takes his turn, slides it down to Nolan. Nolan from the circle, looking, back to Mizzle. Mizzle wheels, deals, surveys, back to Nolan. Nolan walks in on the dot, fires! Just wide, Helmer traps it in the zone. He fires, waffled away. Kervita from the corner, working it. Back to Nolan, right in the corner. He's pinched off the puck, slides up the wall. Chaska tries to wheel it out. Nolan didn't get a lot of wood on it. A little bit of frothiness out front of that net. As both teams are now at full strength. Hornets have settled things down. They stopped the bleeding. Now they just got to put that puck in the back of the net. Nolan on the draw. Refs settling things down. Tied up on the dot. Nolan taken down. Puck comes around to the near side boards. Chaska chipping it out of the zone, where Potter races to pick it up in the Hornet zone and reset. Potter stretch pass to Ferrara. He tried to one-time it, still held in the zone. Sending it around, Potter looking. Reverses course up to Ferrara. Ferrara sends it in the slot, comes to Kervita. Kervita through the neutral zone, he's got Nolan. He breaks down the left side and just dumps it down deep. Nolan will be their man to give chase. Long saucer pass rink wide, doesn't connect, and Potter will do it again from his own zone. Potter checked up. Hawks now, or Preds now, I don't even know what their nickname is. But we get a whistle nonetheless with 10:56 in the second. They're the Stormhawks. Okay, we'll just call them the Hawks. Wilkins now gains on the left side, rolls down. He's get checked off the puck, but Ewers picks it up. He tries to slide it back to the corner to Wilkins. The Hawks are all over him. Bergmeyer in to help out. He nails his man to the wall. A lot of banging. Bergmeyer from behind the net takes a check, but he bounces off nicely. Ewers tries to nail his man. Wilkins tries to... Look at all this physicality! As the Hawks try to nail it out of the zone, Right there in the slot, all the way around to Bergmeyer. No connection there to Wilkins. Ewers from the corner, sends it all the way around. Bergmeyer gives chase. Bergmeyer nailed into the wall. Wilkins comes in. Wilkins goes down. There'll be a penalty on the Hawks. Interference is the call. Big number 77 will be shown the gate because he's guilty. That's why. So Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester come in, backed up by Mizzle and Darlene. Hornets need a goal. We got to break the ice. Ivany on the draw. Puck sent behind the net. Dorsey tries to stop his man. He does. Dorsey now looking. All the way back to the slot. There it is. Oh, Hester couldn't find the wood. Here comes Hawks on a break, trying to work their way around. They got a 2-on-1. Open man in the slot, but tied up smartly in the corner. Comes to Darlene. Darlene looking up ice, looking. Decides the better of it. Recircles, looks. Drops it for Ivany. Ivany now with speed through the neutral zone. Gains on the left side, working his way down around the circle. Behind the net, looking to center. There it is. Chipped down there by Mizzle. Mizzle sends it down low. He's still working it, looking. Being patient, walking across the line, looking. Back to Ivany from the high slot. Back to Mizzle at the point. Fires into the breadbasket of the Hawks. Stormhawks, I should say. Tender. And that brings in Nolan, Kervita, and Ferrara. Backed up by Potter and Helmer. Minute left in the man advantage as the Hawks try to storm out of their own zone, picked up by Helmer, who surveys. D-to-D pass over to Potter. Potter through the neutral zone. He gains on the right side, and we get an offsides. One step forward, 2 steps back. As the Hornets try to get out of their own way. Nolan on the drop, just outside the blue line. Puck comes straight back to Helmer. Helmer turns, burns. D-to-D pass to Potter. Potter looking up. Rink wide, all the way over to Kervita. Kervita now storms into the zone. Drops it for Nolan. Nolan working it, waiting. Back to Helmer at the point. All the way across, back to Nolan. Nolan from the top of the circle, fires into some equipment. Another shot, another save. I should mention that currently the Hornets have 25 shots to the Stormhawks 8. Could this be a repeat of Apple Valley? Let's not hope so. Nolan on the draw, into Ferrara skates, comes away to Kervita. Kervita behind the net, working it, looking down low, looking across. Tried to slide it to Ferrara, intercepted, but he holds at the wall. Stormhawks now working to break it out, just sliding out of the zone, and Potter collects in the neutral zone. Stop short, wheels around, now walking up, gaining the line on the left side. All the way down, Potter knocked off, and almost like a pass went to the tender, and he just covered up. Couldn't quite turn the corner on that centering opportunity. 8-11, both teams at full strength. So another opportunity squandered. We're going to get a face-off down in the Hornet zone. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. Nolan on the draw, tied up on the dot. Sneaks back into the corner. Darlene now throws it up the wall. Held at the point, into the slot, bouncing. Picked up by Potts, who pitchforks it out of the zone. Here's a fast break for Nolan. Nolan, all the way down. Nolan, breaking in. Bring the thunder, Nolan. Yes! Yes, Nolan, did you see it? That's it. It's the start of something wonderful. As Nolan buries it in the back of the net. And it is now 3-1. Well done by Nolan to pick up that pitchfork pass and just race down in, beating his man. And dragging the goalie across the crease. And the rest is history. Hawks stopping short on the line, working it from the point. Looking for opportunity, back to the high point. Down low to the circle, partially deflected, and saved by Quick on the quick shot. .734 remains, and the Hornets have finally got on the board. As Wilkins, Bergmeyer, and Ewers come in. Actually, no. The Hawks are on a power play. That's why the faceoff was down in the zone. Nonetheless, I missed it. It looks like Darlene is in the box. From the high point, Hawks now trying to set something up. Down low to the circle, back to the point. Hawks wheeling in. From the high point, a shot. Right into the breadbasket of Quickie, and he saves. A minute left in that penalty. Quick shot on Quickie. He steals it away, and the puck is sent all the way down. Stormhawks tender stops it short from an icing. Picked up by Wilkins. Here could be a fast break if he sees the slot. Oh, and he can't see Bergmeyer. That would have been gold. Now the Stormhawks on the fast break, gaining on the left side, walking down. Helmer keeping his man to the outside. Ridden off the puck by Mizzle, and they slide it all the way back to the wall. Setting up back to the high point, down to the circle on the far side. Now to the point, looking, back to the high point, down to the dot. Firing, clearing shot, nothing connection on a rebound as the Hawks control. From the top of the circle, hits traffic, still out front, banging, nothing. Hawks still holding it, and finally Quick covers up. With 14 seconds left on their man advantage. So Ivany and Ewers come in to kill off the rest of this penalty. Sent back to Potts. Potts now around the net. He's tied up. Darlene throws it. I guess it's Potter that's in the box, not Darlene. Back to the high point. Stormhawks firing. Saved by Quickie. Puck skitters into the corner. Potts holding his man to the outside. Doing a good job disrupting play. Hawks now trying to get into the zone. Swept away. No. Another quick shot. Another save. Both teams now at full strength. As Dorsey rolls on to complete the complement on this line. Ivany on the draw. Sends it back to Darlene in the corner. Darlene surveys. Throws it around to Potts. Potts chips it up to Dorsey. Dorsey one times to Ivany. Here's a 2-on-1 situation. Ivany racing down. He's still in control. He's got Hester. A quick short side shot. Turned away by the Hawks tender as they reverse course and now roll up through the neutral zone. Gaining on the left side. Held out by Darlene. Stopping short. Trying to center it. Disrupted by Dorsey and sent out of the zone. Hawks go D to D. Looking up. Looking. Headman pass disrupted by Darlene, sent down, and Quick steers it to Potts. Potts from behind the net to Darlene. Darlene back to Potts. Potts sends it up to Hester, one-timer to Ivany. Ivany's got Dorsey. It's a 2-on-2 brewing here as he gains the line. Toe dragging in. There's a shot over the net. It fluttered, and the Hawks now send it up for the breakout. Intercepted by Hester. Hester tried to roll in. He knocked off the bus. There's a one-timer by Ivany. Nothing. Oh, the Hornets. From the point, a dribbling shot by Helmer, saved by the Hawks tender, with 4:55 remaining in this second period. So Nolan, Kavita, and Ferrara, backed up by Potter and Helmer. Hornets are buzzing. Bzzz. Nolan on the drop. Back to Potter at the point. Potter dishes it up the wall, intercepted by the Hawks as they reverse course. Through the neutral zone, Helmer last man back. Does a good job holding his man to the outside, holding his man behind the net. Sent up to Ferrara. Ferrara now backtracks and sends it all the way back down to Helmer. Helmer chips it up at the boards. He's going to hold it. Sends it up to Kavita just a stick too far, and the Hawks hold the zone. Potter behind the net, ringing it around to Ferrara. Ferrara tried to pick it up. It was intercepted there, and the Hawks controlling the corner. Wheeling around. Rink wide to the point. Looking. Stopped by Quick. Shovels it away. Hawks still controlling. Around the circle. Kavita breaks it up, but the Hawks still hold in the corner. All the way back behind the net as they look to center. We got something going on. Interference call. As the Hawks go to the bench. Again. Hornet power play. As Bergmeyer, Wilkins, and Ewers find themselves in a face-off, backed up by Mizzelt and Darlene in the Hawks zone. Bergmeyer on the drop, tied up on that dot. Wilkins from the corner, looks. Tied up by his Hawks man, but he powers his way through, sends it back to Mizzelt at the point. Mizzelt looks, fires. There's the tip. Ewers fires. Turned away by the Hawks tender. Berge from the corner, looking. Wheels, deals, gets it to Ewers on the wall. Ewers back to the point. Darlene fires. Low shot, tip, banging, nothing. Another save. Hornets out shooting 31-14. But the Hawks goalie is employing a force field, which we've found little luck penetrating. Bergmeyer on the drop, gets it to Ewers. Checked off the puck, but he still maintains control. Back to Darlene, back to Ewers. Ewers from the circle, walks in, fires over the net. Ewers now from the far side. Checks it back down to Bergmeyer, over skating. Wilkins behind the net. Short side stuffer. Nice opportunity, just did not go in. Mizzelt from the wall. There it is. There's a centering pass back to Ewers. Ewers holds at the circle. Looks in, goes down to Berge. Wheeling, dealing, trying to get something going into the ref skate. Back to Ewers. Ewers from the dot. Fires. Low shot. Yes, Wilkins. No, he can't turn the corner. Wilkins now from behind the net. Back to Mizzelt. Mizzelt throws it on net. Nothing. Here's Ewers. Oh, he couldn't get there in time. Darlene sends it back all the way to Mizzelt. Mizzelt from the top of the circle. Fires over the net. Boys, bring it down. Ivany from the point. Looking across. Checked off his stick, and the Hornets will have to set back up. Darlene looks. Goes D to Ivany. Ivany up to Mizzelt. Mizzelt through the red line. Now gaining on the middle. Right. Yes. There it is. There's the rebound. Yes! Did you see that? Dorsey. Mizzelt. Yes! 3-2 Hornets. 1 goal down. More to come with 2:33 left in the second. That was a power play goal. That's good to see. Dorsey took the initial shot. The rebound came out. Mizzle was right there to bury it. Ivany sends it back to Potter. Potter rolls, tries to get it to Hester. Contained by the Hawks as the Hornets hold the zone. Here's Hester right in the slot. There's Ivany. Yes, Ivany! Did you see that? Top shelf magic. Yes! Yes! Red hot. Red hot. This game is tied. Tremendous pressure. The forecheck. Holding it in the zone. Wow. Hey, let's get another. Ivany on the draw. Puck comes away to the Hawks as they try to force it down into the zone, and they do from the corner. Short side shot, clearing all the way over. Dorsey slings it up the wall, but it's held short. Hawks now controlling behind the net, looking to center. All the way around. Back to the point. A one-timer. Nothing. Steered away by Quickie. Puck in the corner. Potter holding his man up. Ivany in to help out. Now it's to Hester. Hester to Dorsey. Dorsey rolling through the neutral zone, gaining on the left side. He's taken out with a big check by a Hawk defender. Hawks from behind the net. Hester holding his own on the wall. Now it sneaks out of the zone, and Potter gives chase. Holding, long, rink-wide pass, no connection, and the Hawks reset in their own zone. Rink-wide pass, doesn't connect, and it goes down, and this should be an icing. And indeed, it is. 3-3, people. There's blood in the water. As Nolan, Ferrara, and Kervita come on, backed up by Helmer and Darlene. Puck comes back to Ferrara. Ferrara holds on the wall, leaves it to Helmer. Helmer tried to center it, and it went off some equipment. Sneaks out of the zone, and Nolan's chasing on the wall. He tried to dangerous, and the Hawks were covering the slot. Tried to center it. It was an errant pass to Darlene. Darlene gets it to Kervita, who chips up the wall. 3-on-1 situation blooming here. Kervita rolling down. He's got Ferrara all the way over. Yes, did you see that? Yes! I believe it went off the defender. Ferrara never got a piece of it, but who cares? Got to watch the replay on that one, as the Hornets have found their first lead of the game. Hornets 4, Stormhawks 3. As Berge, Wilkins, and Ewers come on. Wilkins now gaining on the left side, wheeling around the circle. A shot. There's a rebound again. Ewers find the home. Nothing. All the way back, sneaks out of the zone. Darlene gives chase against a huge guy rolling in. Darlene, there's a quick shot on Quick, and Quick saves. Less than a minute to play in this most exciting second half of the second frame, as the Hornets have answered with authority. Berge on the draw. Puck comes away to the wall. Hawks around the net, looking to center. Wraparound attempt. Stopped short by Quick, who covers up the puck. With 38 ticks left. Off the draw. Boys banging in the corner, trying to gain control. Bergmeyer tried to throw up to Wilkins. Sent back down. Nice little skate play by Berge, who throws it out in the zone. Now the Hawks trying to reset in the neutral zone and get something going on their own. Rink-wide pass, rolls in. Potter keeps his man to the outside, knocks up and disrupts play. Bergmeyer comes in with a big hit. Mizzle now sends it back up the wall. Now it's flung out, held at the point. Hornets trying to get it out of the zone, and here comes Mizzle rolling through the neutral zone. Mizzle rolling in with 1 second. He's got to fire. Nothing. And that's it for the second. Hornets have gained the lead. We're going to have a resurface. But hey, we got ourselves a game here after a slow start, and we'll be back in 10. Okay, welcome back. About to start the third period. Hornets up 4-3. Starting out with Ivany, Dorsey, and Hester, backed up by Darlene and Mizzle. Puck tied up on the line. Puck comes back to Mizzle, over to Darlene. Darlene looks up ice, gets it to Dorsey. Cannot contain that hot pass. And the Hawks on some very sticky ice are trying to work it. It's out front. Ice really hasn't set up yet. Mizzle controls in the neutral zone. Turns, loses an edge. And here come the Hawks rolling in across the crease, nobody home. Dorsey tries to wheel it back behind, gets it to Mizzle. Puck chipped around. Mizzle slides it to Dorsey. Dorsey looks up ice. Picks up his own pass momentarily. It's chipped down, and Mizzle now at mid-ice rolls in, throws it down. Hawks try to go rink wide, still on the skates, still trying to work it up, head manning the puck, gaining the line. A cranker! Saved by Quick. Nice to see a cranker, even from the other squad. Don't see enough of them. Bergmeyer in with Ewers and Wilkins. Puck to Potter from behind the net, up to Wilkins. Wilkins just a bit too far for Berge, and the puck is sent back into the Hawks zone. Sliding up the wall, Wilkins intercepts, leads it to Bergmeyer, checked off the puck. Hawks still holding it. Ewers banging it back down on the wall. Picked up there by Wilkins. Now here come the Hawks. Last second ditch stop by Potter in the slot. Ewers working it. Now the Hawks reversing course, gaining steam through the red line, gaining on the line. Stopped short by Bergmeyer. Still holding in the corner. Bergmeyer with some big hits. Berge! Yes, Berge. Berge away with the puck. Rink wide over to Wilkins. Stick checked off the puck and sent into the Hawks zone. Rink over to the near side wall. Long rink wide pass. There's Nolan! Clanker! Clanker and then into low earth orbit. Out of play. And the Hawks dodged a serious bullet. That Clanker had good tone. Nolan on the draw. Hawks come away. Rink wide saucer pass. A bit too hot. Darlene in on the chase. He's going to get there first. Slides around the net. Tries to get it up to Kavita. He does. Kavita loses it. Now it's sent up to Nolan. Nolan through the neutral zone. Chips it up to Farrar. Farrar now. Farrar, you're good. Do this. No. Farrar, no. Saved by the Hawks tender. Turned away. Held at the neutral zone. Helmer trying to battle his man. Holding it. Rolls it up to Nolan. Nolan gaining on the right side. Trying to walk around his man, trying to center it. There's the center, there's the shot. Yes, did you see it? Second effort sweep. Yes, you're so good. 5-3 Hornets, 12:37 left. No goal, apparently. The net was off its moorings, but what a play. Farrar swept at it, and he swept again. It went in through the wickets. But it was called off. Ivany on the draw. Puck in the far side corner, sneaks past Helmer, and this is going to go all the way down for an icing. So no goal. Still 4-3. Ivany on the draw, deep in Hawks territory. Hawks swinging around the backside net, stopping short. Now breaking out. Nice breakout. 2-on-2 situation brewing as they gain on the left side. Trying to walk around Darlene. Darlene centers it. Centered out front again. There it is again. Swept away. Again swept away. Into Dorsey's equipment. He slides it over, but it's just on Ivany's backside. And the Hawks work on their own zone. Look at Ivany battling the puck. He's taken down. No interference call. As the puck goes rink wide all the way over. Here's a headman pass break for the Hawks as they gain in. 2-on-1 situation. They try to slide it over. Potts, well done. Still holding on the circle. Wheeling around. A shot goes awry wide. Another cranker. A wide right. Held at the point. Sliding all the way down to the corner. Helmer beating his man up there. Ivany slides it up to Hester. Hester now working it. Dorsey goes off, and Hester goes off too, and they just slide it down into the Hawks zone, and the Hornets go line change. Rink wide pass to the Hawks. They try to slide it in the zone. Checked up there by Ferrara. Now it's down to Curvita. He tries a centering pass. I'm not sure what that was. Shot, centering pass, who knows. Back behind the net to the near side corner. Nolan working his man, tying him up. Slides back to the point. Potter holds the line, but the Hawks bring it out and gain the red line. Now trying to slide it across. Curvita turns, burns, looks up ice. Rink wide pass on the backside of Ferrara. Ferrara still controls. He's knocked off the puck, and the Hawks they're trying to open it up here with some long passes. D-to-D pass to Mizzle. Mizzle just scoops it into the Hawks zone, and the Hornets go for a line change. Puck around to the far side. Mizzle slaps it back to Nolan behind the net. Hawks control. Looking up on the wall. Potter just scoops it back, and we get an offsides. So we fill out the complement with Bergmeyer, Ewers, and Wilkins. Backed up by Potts and Darlene. Bergmeyer on the draw. Puck goes down into the Hawks zone. They control behind the net. Breaking out up the wall. 3-on-2 situation almost brewing. They could not handle the puck, and they have to reset. Potts disrupts play. Holds on the wall, and it sneaks into the Hornet zone. Rink wide over to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer sends it up to Wilkins. Wilkins now through the red line. He gains on the left side. Looks from the wall. Centering on the backside of Ewers. Potts now pinches up on the wall. He's banged. He's working it. Wilkins comes in. Hornets pressing, holding the Hawks down, and now the Hawks try again to go rink wide. Disrupted by Potts, but they steal it away. Working through the zone. Swept away by Darlene. Well done. Darlene holding his man to the outside. Bergmeyer working the wall. Both teams scrambling as it sneaks out of the zone, and they reset with a D-to-D pass. Hawks looking up ice. Free-flowing game as a 3-on-2 is rolling. Stepped aside there by Quick. In the slot again, pushed away. Darlene sweeps it up to Hester. Hester leads it to Ivany. Ivany up on the wall, stops short. He's got Dorsey, but he slides it into the zone. Dorsey gives chase on the far near side corner. Comes away with the puck, holds it from the point, sliding it over to Mizzle, but it's chipped away at the last second, and Helmer's the last man back. Helmer holding his man. There's the drop pass. Mizzle's going to get hit for interference. He knocked a man down. I believe it's a cross check as he took out the trailer. So with 8:55 left, Hornets will be down a man. Dorsey and Ivany, Potts and Helmer out to kill this. Face off to the left of Quickie. Ivany on the draw. Puck comes away to Potter in the corner, who rings it up the boards. It's held at the point. Here's Dorsey. Dorsey and Ivany rolling on a 2-on-2. Dorsey just decides to slide it down into the zone. And Ivany meets his man in the corner. Dorsey slams it up the wall to Ivany. Ivany pitches it back down low. Hornets keeping their man, killing this penalty. Now the Hawks go rink wide as they try to roll up. Potter pinches, slides it up the wall beautifully back into the zone of the Hawks. Hawks on a quick break through the neutral zone. Helmer slipped around. Hawks in control down in the corner. Around Helmer. Ivany does a good job holding his man to the outside. Nicely stolen there. Ivany trying to break up. He's leveled at the red line. And the Hawks reset in their own zone. Long rink-wide pass, sneaks past Helmer, and this one's going all the way down for an icing. 7:59 left. A minute left in the man advantage for the Hawks. As Chaska Chan has found new life after 4 unanswered goals from the Hornets. Hester in on the draw. He's with Ferrara. All the way back to Darlene. Darlene Cranker! Didn't get a lot of wood on that one. As the Hawks now roll and look at options. Gaining on the left side. Potts holding it. Their man blows a tire. Puck is sent rung around the boards. Darlene will be the first man there. He tries to pitch it out. He does. He gets it out of the zone, and the Hawks will have to reset. Right into the slot area, rolling in. Can't find the handle to get a shot off. Hawks are going to have to go around the net, try to set something up. Back to the top of the circle, back to the point, looking, firing. Sticked away there by Quickie. Still held on the wall by the Hawks. They are buzzing just like the Hornets were. Down low to the circle, looking. All the way across, deflected away, still held down short. There's the dot shot, and trapped away by Quick. And things are frothy. 20 seconds remain in the Hawks man advantage. As the Hornets' rope-a-dope strategy has so far fended this off. So Nolan and Kravita on to kill it off. Back to the point. Hawks work it, slide it down to the circle. Having trouble holding it. Now back to the point. Looking. Rink-wide pass is going to sneak. No, it's held in the zone. Helmer holding his man to the outside. Hawks still controlling it. They can't find the wood. Now it sneaks out of the zone. And the Hawks will have to reset. Both teams at full strength. Nolan chasing his man down into the Hawks zone. Giving it the full press. Behind the net. Well done, Nolan. Holding him down. Hawks trying to break now. Gaining 1-on-3 situation. Helmer slams it back up the wall. Farrar tried to chip it. And we get an offsides. Shot still holding at that 2-to-1 advantage, 40-22. It's a face-off just outside the Hornet zone. Nolan sending it back to Mizzle. Mizzle chips it up with his foot, slides it over to Farrar. Farrar gaining on the left side. He's got Kravita, long stretch pass. Kravita should get a shot. Can't find the wood. Still rolling around. He's pinched off the puck. Puck down to the far side corners and breakout. Comes back to Mizzle. Mizzle surveys, looks up ice, throws it up to Kravita. Kravita now rolls in on the circle, fires across. Yes, Farrar. A beautiful little sending pass, nothing connected. And here come the Hawks on the reverse. Rolling through the zone. Darlene does a good job checking that one away. He slides it up the wall to Nolan, just a bit too far. Quickie has to stick that aside. Mizzled up on the wall, chips it up. Now it's chipped again. Here's Nolan working his way, 1-on-2. Sneaks his way around. Nolan in. Firing shot. Turned away, and he's rubbed out behind the goal. Wilkins wanted to lay the wood on that. Now the puck slides back to Darlene. Darlene rink wide all the way up to Nolan. Nolan turns, burns, looks. Long stretch pass up to Ewers. Not sure why that wasn't offsides, but who cares? Ewers trying to dish it across to Wilkins. Couldn't get there. Potts now stepping up. Waiting on sides, now throws it down into the Hawks zone with less than 6 minutes to play. Bergmeyer rubbing his man out, back to Darlene at the point. Darlene can't fire. He's going to try it again. He holds it off. He still holds it. He sends it down to Bergmeyer. Bergmeyer. Now, look at Potter. Potter holding the zone. Throws it down. That wasn't Darlene. I get Potter and Darlene because they both have 7s. Bergmeyer back. Now, it's Ewers holding in. Fires. Waffled away. Hawks just crank it out of the zone and out of play. That'd be a penalty in the NHL, but we're not in the NHL. In less than 5 minutes to play, Dorsey, Hester, and Ivany roll on with Helmer and Darlene. Ivany on the drop. Hawks come away, sliding across behind the net, looking. Up on the wall, looking for a breakout, long stretch pass, intercepted. Over the stick of a Hawks defender, and Darlene shoves it up the wall. Hawks holding, sliding across the line. Now rolling in on the circle. Here's the shot, saved by Quick, covered up, banging, boys fighting, nothing. And we'll get a face-off. Ivany set. Tied up on the dot. Puck held. Now Darlene controls from the corner. Looking. Sliding up to Dorsey. Dorsey chips it up the wall. Tries to get it to Hester, but there's 2 men waiting. They go D to D, and the Hawks look up ice. Long stretch pass all the way across. They gain on the left side, 3-on-2. Long shot, sticked away by Quick. Held on the wall, now to Dorsey. Dorsey's got Hester, sliding over. Hester rolling. Dorsey switching sides. Hester rolling in. Trying to get around. He stopped short. Ivany in to break up the play. The Hawks come away. Back to Darlene. Darlene up the wall to Ivany curling around. He's stick checked off the puck, but he gets his own. Long shot, legged away. No one there for the rebound. Hawks looking up ice. Disrupted by Ivany. Ivany taken out of the wall. Comes back to Helmer. Helmer walks in. Fires. Trapped away by the Hawks tender with 3:39 left. Hornets up by the slimmest of margins, 4-3. So Nolan, Kervita, and Ferrara on, backed up by Potts and Mizzle. Puck around to the near side wall, held by Potts at the point, slides it down. Just past Kervita, back behind the net, and the Hawks have to redo it. With speed, rolling through, stick checked off in the slot area, and the Hawks can't find the way out of their zone as they shovel back and forth behind the net. Ferrara in, stopped by Kervita. Kervita there, short side, off the clanker. Hawks now from the knees. Nice stretch pass as they roll in. Mizzle last man back. Holding, disrupting the centering pass. Well done. Hawks controlling, still in the zone. Walking in, walking across. Ferrara holding his man. Back to the point. A shot. Not really a shot. It's just a sent down. Mizzle up to Ferrara. Just a bit too far. Ferrara's gassed. Hornets go for a line change. Nolan holding in the neutral zone. Sliding over to Mizzle. Mizzle looks up ice, gets it Kervita. He one-times it into the zone. 2.5 minutes to play. Wilkins alone in the slot. Checked off the puck. Hawks now looking to reverse course. Held in the zone by Bergmeyer momentarily, and here come the Hawks 2-on-2 as they roll down the left side. Potts holding his man to the outside. Trailer pass, now right in the dot, waffled away by Quick. Now sent all the way back to the point, but no one was home. And the Hawks will have to retrieve in their own zone. Bergmeyer holds at the point momentarily. Here come the Hawks rolling through. One man trying to do everything. Stopped in the slot. Helmer trying to dig it away. Finally get out of the zone. Here's a break for Wilkins. Wilkins rolling in. One man to beat. Wilkins. Yes, Wilkins. Yes. No. Nothing. Off to the side. Bergmeyer now rolling behind the net. He's checked off. And the Hawks now reverse course with a 2-on-2 brewing. They got a 3-on-2 rolling. Odd man rush. Walking in. Nice job by Helmer to stop that play. Hawks have to reset from the point. Hawks have pulled their goalie with the extra attacker. Less than 1 minute and 30 seconds to play. Back behind the net. Potter rings it up the boards now to play, and the Hawks will have to reset. Puck all the way down in the Hawks zone as they roll through the neutral zone, gaining on the left side. With speed, rolling in, looking for a centering opportunity. There it is across, disrupted by Potter. There's another shot, off to the side. This one will not be contained as well. All the way back, a minute to play. Here's a break for Ivany. Ivany tripped, he's tripped. Yes, there will be a penalty. With 1 minute and 1 second, the pulled goalie man advantage is neutralized with a tripping penalty against Ivany. So the Stormhawks tender will return to his spot between the pipes to take this face-off deep in their own zone. Nolan on the draw, tied up on the dot, sent back down into the corner. Behind the net, we got something. And that's it. Time runs out in District 6. That oftentimes happens. They have a time limit, and the Hornets have taken this one 4-3 after a very shaky start. They have dug deep and found a way to win against the Chaska Stormhawks. So there you have it from Saturday afternoon, a victory 4-3, and we'll see you again next time.